Everyone say hi to our models for this tutorial shooting.
Action!
Let's get you started correctly. This is a shadow. A shadow happens when your subject blocks the light. However, this is a silhouette. A silhouette happens when your background is much brighter than your subject, thus making your subject look underexposed. But before we start, the good news. We have decided to create the All Access account. And with the All Access, you will have full access to all our e-learning titles, including the masterclasses and also the premium courses at a highly affordable price of just $14 a month. And what's truly interesting about the All Access? Not only you get access to all the e-learnings and titles and videos that we have now, but also every future release of e-learning titles and contents that we get, as long as you stay subscribed and maintain this All Access account. So hurry, go get yourself this All Access from this website here. All for the highly affordable price of just $14 a month. Enjoy today's tutorial. Let's learn to do this step by step. Step 1, get yourself a hot shoe flash. If you have a studio monoblock, even better. But I was thinking that I should try out with a Canon Speedlight 580EX2, particularly because one of our premium courses subscribers wrote to me saying that, is there optical trigger S1, S2 like what you have with the Godox flash? Well, here's the bad news. You don't have an optical trigger with the 580EX2. So instead of using a Godox, I'm going to teach you how you can set up off-camera flash with the 580EX. Step 2, grab yourself a light stand. And take this light stand and mount it exactly behind shooting. Make sure that she obscures it. But that's what I learned. She may obscure the flash now. Can you show everybody what kind of poses that you'll be doing? Right, so your pose needs to be dramatic like that. But as you can tell, you can see the light stand sticking out. So I need your help. Tell me when you don't see it anymore. That's good. And take this flash, mount it to the swivel here, and lock this. Let's learn how to turn your 580EX2 into OCF. Off-camera flash. Put the head down. Then as you can see, there's this symbol here that looks like a lightning. Hold this down, long press. Turn the wheel until you see slave on. Press set. So as you can see, you are now running Canon's proprietary wireless system, which requires you to be on group A and channel 1. Which corresponds to what you need to set on your camera. I think it's time we take a look at the setting at your Canon camera. To do a good silhouette shot like this, you need to use high f value. I'm using f16 and I'm using a low ISO, so that way everything would look dark when I take a pre-visualization shot. And the highest value I can use for my shutter speed would be 1/250. So as you can see, my exposure meter is now indicating it's very dark, and hence the blinking on your Canon system. When you see your exposure meter blink like this, that means you're very really dark. The second thing you need to do is to head on to your flash control, go in there, look for your built-in flash, make sure that this is on manual mode, and your flash output on your built-in flash needs to be very low, the lowest you can get. This can be second curtain or first curtain, but I always have a habit of using second curtain. And this part is very important. This step is for you to enable your wireless. This means your hot shoe flash away from your camera on a light stand. This is your built-in flash with a hot shoe flash. So make sure you choose this. And once you have this, ensure that your channel matches the channel that you had on your hot shoe flash, which is on the light stand. Remember, it was channel 1. And finally, head on here, which indicates what is the power of your OCF. Go in, make sure that it is the highest power. Done. It's important that you learn that when you use Canon's proprietary wireless system, this light here will buzz pulses and transmit over whatever settings that you have set here, the channel, the group, and the power. So shooting, do the pose that you did. Boom. There you go. you now have a shot which shows bright background and dark subject silhouette. But it's not dark enough. See, shooting, I'm not happy with this shot because of two things. You are still not 100% completely silhouette. We love to be completely shadowed. Number two, you notice that at the top part of the photo and the bottom part of the photo, the illumination pattern is not covering the whole wall. Right, so if you have this problem, very simple. All you need to do is just increase the F value and then make sure that you do this important step to your flash. So as you can see, the zoom of this flash is 24. The smaller the number, the more the flash zoom head sticks out. So how do you make it a smaller number than 24? Hidden within your 580EX2 is this diffusion panel, a wide angle panel. When you pull this out, you will notice that it becomes a 14mm zoom angle now. So to make her darker and look completely silhouette-like, I increased my F value. Instead of F16 earlier, I'm using F22, focus still on the eye, and boom. So much better now. As you can see, she's completely black now in terms of exposure, and then the background is still perhaps not that powerful enough, but that's not the whole idea. The idea of this tutorial is not to have white light, but to have colored light. So what we need to do is go onto the back of the flash and put gels. These are color plastics, specific color plastic that you can actually buy from online store, photography store. And if you put Velcro on your flash, you can actually do this. Two, go. There you go. This is the shot that we get now. Everything is good, but it's just too underexposed and the background is not bright enough. When you see this, that means you're one or two stops too dark. How did this happen? Simple. The gel that you put on your flash will cut away 2 stops, and that's what happened. So instead of shooting at f22, I'm going to drop my f value now to f11. Let's try that. 1, 2, go. And look at this shot now. When you set things up correctly with the right value, with the right parameters, you will be rewarded with an amazing shot like this. Oh hey, I know many of you here use the Godox TT685. So how do you do a OCF with the Godox? Simple. Ensure that your mode is on manual just by pressing this button here. As you can see, I'm now on manual. You can adjust the power with this button here. So remember, you want this to be full power. And turn on S1, which is your optical slave. So now whenever it detects a light, it will go off. So same thing. Turn to the front. Stick 2 little Velcro here. But if you notice that the zoom was 24, and hence you need to pull out this panel here. And adhere your gel to the front of the flash, ensuring that you always leave a little bit of a gap so that the gel breathes. This is called breathing your gel. I'm still using my Canon, pop up my flash, and let me show you something that is really important if you're a Canon user here. Focus on the eyes and thumb. You saw the flash going off, but strangely you get a completely black picture. Let's try that again. I swear to God that my flash here was on manual. So if I click on menu, go into flash control, look at my built-in flash. I swear to God it's on manual. This is one of the most biggest annoying bugs that you need to learn. Head on to your wireless function. Disable it. With the wireless enable, the proprietary system will buzz with pulses of flash that will interrupt that flash, and you actually end up getting no power of flash from your OCF, especially if you're using a Godox. Ooh, this is one of my biggest problems when I use Godox as my OCF with the gel and try to do silhouette shots like this. You notice that I never will get even illumination pattern, leaving bendings like this on the wall. I wonder whether you have the same problem. If you own a Godox TT685, slap a gel to it, spray it to the wall and see whether you get the same annoying problem like I do. And if you have a solution, shooting, and I would love to hear how you solve this problem. I could never solve it. That's why whenever I do silhouette shots like this with full power and light up the wall, I would avoid using the Godox with the gel. The setting that I did with the channel 1 group and the power of all this will be transmitted while... It's important that you learn that when you use Canon's proprietary... Why is the setting different? Oh, I was using a Canon. Crap. Where's the Canon?
They are using it for a shoot.
How can they use it? Aren't we shoot? This is so fun.